Salut, c'est Ben et Camille de la chaîne bookin'game.
Aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour la suite de
Tangle
Tangle
Tower,
Tower.
épisode 3.
Donc voilà, donc on avait fini ici, il n'y a plus grand chose à faire.
Non, on peut aller dans une autre salle. Bah celle-là, là, l'atelier. Je sais plus comment on appelle.
Ça ici?
Ouais, ça.
Alors la volière. Oh le petit oiseau rose, il est rigolo. Hop.
I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
Ah non, je voulais cliquer l'oiseau, moi pas
How
lui.
do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
Bird diagrams. Hand painted.
They're beautiful. Someone really knows their stuff.
Ok, ici.
They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is.
Il y a le bureau aussi.
Attends, je suis
Check
pas
out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
Ici là?
Ouais,
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's
Pupitre.
nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Ces deux sont un peu rigolos. Et puis on interrogera la
An
dame après.
especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
Ça, c'est à cause de l'eau.
Ouais, comme les fruits et légumes là, qui sont tout rigolos.
T'as vu, c'est grand, ils sont des...
Des
Ah,
plumes, ouais.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you
Ils sont
think?
tous à moitié blancs, j'en sais.
Sure.
On
Yeah.
s'y fait à force.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type.
C'est pas le jardinier justement?
Fitz fellow.
The very
Si,
Il me
ça.
semble que c'est ça.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family?
C'est ça, mais je pense qu'il sort avec la Poppy. Enfin,
I'm not
elle vient de
especially
qu'il soit
Hmm,
fiancé.
peut-être c'est un triangle amoureux.
Oui, c'est
Feuding
ça.
goes on between our 2 families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
Non, mais j'ai
I
l'impression qu'en
awoke
fait,
early
Poppy s'en fout.
and headed down into the
J'ai pas
greenhouse
trop
to
qu'on
see
parle à Poppy.
Fitz. He's always there, crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day, watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I. Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But In the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library.
Donc, il avait déjà eu le temps de remonter
I don't know what it
le
was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Ok.
Ouais, a priori tout se tient pour l'instant.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input. She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting.
Ah,
All
ça
the
ressemble.
birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
Des indices peut-être?
Je vois pas trop ce qu'on pourrait lui donner en fait.
Maison en cage, carabée d'or, palette. Tiens, on va voir si elle peut nous dire
Oh.
quelque chose avec ça.
That's rather sad.
Ouais, elle s'en fout.
L'œuf vide, peut-être.
Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities.
Ok, on va voir.
Non, je pense qu'on ne doit pas avoir.
Peut-être voir
grand-chose.
ça, peut-être.
Ah oui, si tu veux.
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
Ok, donc c'est peut-être elle qui est ici. On dit que c'est plus elle qui est amoureuse de lui que lui de elle.
Non, je pense que là pour le moment on ne doit pas avoir grand chose.
Ouais, je pense qu'il faut qu'on interroge tout le monde petit à petit et après on
We
pourra
can get
relier
into
les trucs
Penny's room
ensemble.
now.
On se rend dans sa
Now,
chambre.
like,
Ouais,
right
on se
now.
met
Allons-y
maintenant.
maintenant.
Allez, je
Juste
t'en
en
passe.
face, logique.
C'est rigolo ici.
Alors, il y a une petite plante bizarre.
That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
Forme inhabituelle, son truc de tronçon. Chimie. Étrangement bleu, ouais, doit venir de la serre. Je pense qu'on pourra lui montrer. on
Ouais,
verra ça.
possible.
La tête bizarre là.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence.
Alors, la petite tasse de thé.
A little tea set. Looks recently used.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
Ouais, en gros, elle déprime, elle se sent seule.
A little bedtime reading.
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
Par contre, elle a plein de valises.
Traveling cases.
Empty.
Normal,
All
elle disait
of
qu'elle
them.
partait un peu à droite et à gauche.
C'est
elle
vrai,
revenait
c'est
tout
vrai,
douce.
exact. Jusque là, ça fait sens. La petite maison Jaja, là, d'ailleurs, un truc, non?
Ouais,
It's a
cliquez dessus.
birdhouse.
Are those real birds?
Alors, oui, ça. Encore une énigme, je pense. Oh,
Oula.
Nope.
ils ont des sales têtes.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
Échange la position des 7 oiseaux. Ouais, mais je vois pas. Ah, c'est une histoire de couleur. Ok. Ok. Alors attends. Ici. Stack. Vert et jaune, ça donne bleu.
T'es sûr que c'est ça?
Et ouais, ça doit être ça. Et vert et machin.
Nope.
There must be some logic to how the birds are arranged.
Marron,
Something to
c'était
do with
bleu et
those
rouge.
white lines.
Marron, c'est pas bleu et rouge?
Bleu et
Ou
rouge.
vert, je sais pas.
Bah, tu vois, moi je mets du vert. Parce que forcément. Ah, attends. Celui-ci, dans ces cas-là, il va là. Tac. 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 Attends. La logique va suivre, t'inquiète, tu vas voir. Ici. Et là.
Ouais, ça se tient.
That's the one.
Voilà.
Hey, not bad. Did the door open? What's in there?
Ouh, ça a l'air méchant.
Avec quelques roses dessus.
Ok. Il va y avoir un prétendant et il y a eu un souci. Ok. On peut peut-être aller lui montrer le papier qu'on vient d'avoir. Genre battre le fer tant qu'il est chaud. Là, il faut lui parler.
Ouais.
Alors, tac, tac, tiens.
Et ça.
Qu'est-ce
bas à
que
droite.
c'est que quoi? Voilà.
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do that.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with the petals?
It's really none of your business.
Mhm.
Ça, c'est étrange.
Et la fleur en pot
Yes,
veut dire un
it's
truc.
my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
Ok.
Ok. Bon, on va passer à une autre salle, je pense.
Bah, je pense, non, parce que là, je vois pas vraiment ce qu'il faut.
Éventuellement, est-ce qu'on pourrait peut-être interroger quelqu'un ou on fait une salle? Alors la seule salle qu'on est... Ah si, on peut
On en a
tout
plein,
faire.
hein. Mm.
On n'a qu'à faire celle-ci qui est juste en dessous.
C'est vrai.
Salle
Ah bah
de
tiens,
musique.
ça tombe bien.
Ah là là, Poppy. C'est
Are
Dark
they
Sasuke.
paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Oh, c'est quoi ça?
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Peut-être
Well,
qu'on
it
aura la
is the
clé de
music
l'énigme
room.
avec la harpe.
Ah, possible.
He's gotta practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
Ah. Cornet au sol. Une fissure comme le gramophone.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty. So I'm guessing nobody.
Ici. Ah, zut. Je ne voulais pas faire ça, je voulais cliquer sur la map monde.
T'as cliqué sur les morceaux de verre par
Sheet music.
Ah non.
It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor.
Juste là.
Ouais, bien vu l'aveugle.
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music
No,
room.
it's-
Gotta
Non, sur
practice.
Paris.
What's with all the
c'est
broken
Ok,
glass?
bah on papote avec...
Ouais, attends, il me refait forcément changer d'aller dessus. Hop. bon, allons la voir. Oula, que lui a pas plu.
Are you a ghost?
Sally! That's rude! Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice. I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor.
La fille du coup
Spent
du
most of his time
professeur.
hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
Ok.
3.5 hours of piano practice. Soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
Ouhou.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a
C'est le
piece of
scarabée
metal,
doré qui crie là.
but
Ouais,
different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The 3 of us went back up to Flora's tower.
Pour
Then
l'instant,
Felix
ça...
arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea.
Il y a un bug, non?
She
Puisque
wanted to
normalement,
do
ils
some
y sont
kind of
déjà avant que le
scientific
père arrive.
test.
Je pense que c'est
She
quelqu'un qui
took
a
me
ouvert.
down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Ok. Tiens.
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way.
Ouais, ouais. Donc c'est elle qui est amoureuse. Enfin, ils sont amoureux, mais lui il est fiancé à l'autre terrain avec ses machins. Tiens, on va
Is
voir.
that a gardening trowel?
Yeah. I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh, never seen him use it.
Ouais, c'est ça. On n'avait pas l'insecte doré, nous. Il est
You
ici.
get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously.
Ok.
Ok. Alors, le
It
gramophone.
was my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Ok. La caisse
Does this
assurée.
belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody? Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
Ok.
Ok. Plus grand chose. Voyons voir casse
This
établie. Ah, voilà.
is
C'est.
mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Ok, donc
Any
Freya a
idea how
enregistré
it
ça.
ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
Et la statue avec la harpe.
Ah ouais, allons
What
voir
do you
ça.
make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. See how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Donc, c'est
Yeah.
ça.
Weird.
Ouais, il n'y a plus grand chose qu'on peut lui montrer.
Non.
Je pense qu'on peut arrêter là.
Ok.
Hop, donc on va se laisser là-dessus. Donc voilà, il y a quand même pas mal de
Alright.
personnages assez
Poppy's
suspects.
bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
On ira plus tard. Hop. Donc voilà, n'hésitez pas à donner
Like.
votre avis.
Oui, à liker, à partager, à vous abonner si ce n'est pas déjà fait. On vous dit une prochaine. Salut, salut!